welcome or welcome back. Welcome back. I haven't done that in a long time. Anyway, hi. This is the New in Review where we talk about book and all bookish content. Coming to you today with my February 2026 TBR. So, last month I gave a collection of books that I am vlogging. I also last month if you watched all the videos, and if you didn't, I'm going to post them below. You will see my Mammoth Book Challenge for the month, and then my Les Mis Challenge. If you're interested in, it is never too late to start the Les Mis Challenge. It's a chapter a day, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about February. Yes, February is Black History Month, and for Black History Month, I want to delve into some books that has been on my to read list for a long time, and some new goodies that I am anxious to get into. Now, all the books I have for Black History Month are either by or about Black people. So that's me. Get you into this list. So last month, if you saw my TBR, you saw that I had the Harlem Renaissance. It is 4 novels. Last month I read Not Without Laughter. This month I'll be reading Black No More, and it is it is the second read in the book. So my goal is to read one story once a month, not the entire book. It's actually turning out to be pretty good. This was gifted to me a couple of years ago, and I'm glad I'm finally getting to read it, and it's definitely pleasurable. This is a collection of books written by authors of the Harlem Renaissance era of the 1930s, and so it's pretty good so far. So I can't complain. The next book is The Known World. Now this is on my 26 of 2026 book challenge, and so I'm happy to have introduced this just early in my reading year challenge. My goal this year is definitely to hone in on the books that I've set aside to finish this challenge, and this is one of them. This book, let me give you a short snippet of it. It is the most acclaimed of novels in recent memory. A black farmer, Henry Townsend, a black farmer and a former slave who falls under the tutelage of William Robbins, the most powerful man in Manchester County, Virginia, making certain he never circumvents the law. Townsend runs his affairs with unusual discipline, but when the death of him unexpectedly, his widow Condolina can't uphold the estate's order, and chaos ensues. So I am really uh, yeah, I'm ready to read this. I wanted to read this a long time ago, and so I'm happy to have this on my list for this month, and hopefully I can get back and tell you guys how it went. My next one is part three of a part three series, and I'm so happy because I have been trying to read this series for like maybe probably about a year now, but I read the second one, the second book last month, which was Can't Get Enough, I think. Oh no, this is Can't Get Enough. The second book, oh you guys, let me, Before I Let Go was pretty good. This Could Be Us. I don't know why I can't remember that. I always remember Before I Let Go. This Can Be Us, which was really good. So, Can't Get Enough is the third installment of the Skyland series by Kennedy Ryan. And this is about three women and their individual journeys in life. So, this tells the story, I want to say Hendrix. This is Hendrix's story. So she's the last one of this trio of this 3-part series. And so yeah, I can't wait to get into it. I've heard really great things about it. So yeah, I will finish this series, and after I finish this series, I'll be able to have a book chat about all three of the books together. So it's long awaited. The next one is Aftershock by Nadia Awasu. And I think this, I want to say this is middle school age, but let's read a little bit about it. Young Nadia Wasu, her father, a United Nations official from European to Africa and back again. Just as she and her family settled into a new home, her father would tell them it was time to say their goodbyes. The instability throughout Nadia's nomadic childhood was deepened by her family and fractures, both lived and inherited. Her American mother, her Armenian American mother, who abandoned Nadia when she was 2, will periodically reappear, only to vanish again. Her father, Ghanaian, um, the great hero of her life, died when she was 13. After his passing, Nadia's grandmother weighed her down with a revelation that was rather a bombshell secret or a lie, rift with Shaman and Indio. So I'm not going to go more into this. Aftershock is the name of the book, and Aftershock this may be, especially when the grandmother is, you know, I don't know, she's introducing her, I guess, to some secrets in her past. Now, this is a memoir, so I'm very curious to see how this would turn out, and I will let you guys know how this goes. This is a book that I have been anticipating on reading this since I've heard about it. And then it was reaffirmed that it was a good book when I was listening to one of my favorite radio shows or radio channels, 126, The Urban View. If you don't know about it, go listen to it, you guys. They did I don't think the entire what is this? Oh my goodness. I'm stumbling with my words, you guys. I am stumbling. It was Karen Hunter, the Karen Hunter show on the Nubia. And so this is a radio show that I listen to out of 365 days of the year. It doesn't come on the weekend, but I try to listen to it throughout the week. Yes, and I just love the radio show. Actually, I love the whole lineup. So if you guys are ever really interested into if you're ever interested into real talk, 126 is my channel. But anyway, let me get off of that. Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. So the Urban View, I think it was on Nubia. There was a community read of the book, and because I did not have the book, I did not participate. So I found this book, luckily, at one of my thrift stores for half off. And so when I saw it, The Spy, I instantly had to get the book. And so I will be reading this for February. Now, this the premise reminds me of another book that I read. It was The Last White Man, where the protagonist, when he woke up and he found himself as a black man. And so this seems like it has a little bit of the similarities, but let me just read a little bit of it, but not too much. One day, cataclysmic events occurred. All of the white people in America walked into the near body of water. A year later, Charlie Brunton, a black man living in an entirely new world. Having served time in prison after a wrongful conviction, he's now a professor of electric and solar power systems at Howard University when he receives a call from someone he wasn't even sure existed, his daughter, Sydney, a 9-year-old left by her white mother and stepfather. Okay, so I have not read this book yet, so this is a little bit of a different premise, but it is definitely along the same line of the world darkening and the elimination of or the disappearance of white people, which I'm going to say time and time again, white is a construct. So I can't wait to get into this and share this with you guys. So let me give you my next book. So right now we have one memoir. We have a book, two books on my TBR that I plan on finishing. My 2026 TBR. Okay. And so let's get to the next one. Comfortable Conversations with a Black Boy. This is Emmanuel Ocho. Now, he has been a controversial figure in the past couple of years. He's a Nigerian, I wouldn't say Nigerian American, he's a Nigerian author who lives in America. And the unfortunate part is that this brother, I got his other book too, Conversations, what is his other book? There has been a lot of controversial comments he have made when he distinguished African Americans from Africans, and yeah, I don't want to get into it, but I had the book before he made those comments. So I originally got it for my son. He has not read it yet, so I'm going to go ahead and read it, and because it's in my home library, I might as well, and just see what he's talking about here and go from there. The next one is Freedom Rides. This copy is also my son's copy. I have the hardcover book, so I'm borrowing this from him because it's floppy and it'll be easier for me to just carry it around. Freedom Riders, 1961, and the struggle for racial justice. Raymond Arsenault, one of my favorite authors. He also wrote the books on Arthur Ashe and a couple of other people that I like. So I can't wait to delve into this one. I've had the hardcover. I had my copy for a long time, and so when I found this one, I just said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get it and put it in my son's library. The next one, Blacks in the City, A History of the National Urban League. Now, this is a French work. Rashad Paris and Lester Brooks. I am very familiar with Lester Brooks' work. We use some of his social study, like history books for schooling. So, Rashad Paris, his name is not very familiar to me, but he was part of the not NAACP, the Black Urban League. So let me give you a blurb of what they're talking about. Blacks in the City is a unique book. It is a rare record of black-white cooperation for more than 2 generations in America. It is an inside report on a great humanitarian effort, that indomitable drive to growing, dedicated band of Americans to help black citizens through the instruments of the Urban League. Blacks have known the Urban League for decades, and the events of the last several years have made it widely known to whites as well. Yet, this is the very first history of the agency ever published. That in itself is extraordinary, considering that the Urban League is more than 60 years old and is the last social work civil rights agency in the world. Yeah, and the Urban League to this date is still around, and this is 2026. And I would like to read this. I've had this book for a while too, so it is time. What they say, it is time. It is time. Blacks in the City contains undeniable scenes. So they just give various blacks in the civil rights events that went on. Wow. I don't know what took me so long, but I am so happy that I pulled this out of my stack and I'm ready to read it. Okay, so my next one is a part one of a part two series. This is also on my 26 of 2026 reading challenge. And so I am claiming those books earlier in the year so I can get through them. The goal is to always pull one or two or three books from my 2026 challenge because that's the only way I'm going to hold myself to it. So, Born in Blackness, Howard W. French. He also has a part two. It is not on my 2026, but I did acquire the book, and so I do plan on trying to read it this year, but I want to get through this one first, which I've been trying to do for I don't know how long. And give you a small premise of it. Traditional accounts making the modern world afford a place of primary primacy of European history. Some credit the 15th century age of discovery and the maritime connection and established between West and East. Others, the incidental unearthing of the New World. So, this goes into what if instead we put Africa and Africans at the very center of our thinking about the origins of modernity. That word is so hard. That was so hard for me to get at first. Born in Blackness vitally reframes the story of medieval and emerging Africa, demonstrating how economics, ascendancy of Europe, the anchoring of democracy in the West, and the fulfillment of so-called Enlightenment ideas all grew out of Europe's dehumanizing engagement with the Dark Continent. Okay. It's time. It is time. For Black History Month, I will be delving into this one. This is a long-awaited read, so I would definitely be getting into this one, and hopefully reading book 2 before my birthday, which is in May. So this is the last book I have on my TBR that I like are my established reads, but I may read other things for the month. But this right here, Pillar of Fire, America in the King Years, 1963 to 1965. This is not on my 2026 challenge. However, this is one of the book series that I am reading. So with my book series, I'm not giving it like a time that I need to finish. I just want to finish the book series. But my goal is to just get through them, consistently as I can. So you'll be seeing series from time to time. This is a part 2 of a part 3. Pardon Waters is the first one. I've introduced that book I think 100 times on my channel, so you can watch other videos about me talking about it. But this one is the second installment of the King Years, and I want to say this one right here is also on audio if you're interested in listening to it instead of reading the physical text. So yeah, this is going to be on my TBR for February Black History Month. So let's get into a little bit of this. Pillar of Fire, the far-flung upheaval of the years of 1963 to 1965, Dallas, St. August, Mississippi, Freedom Summer Ride, which coincides with my Freedom Ride book, and I think that was the reason why I pulled it. Okay. LBJ's Great Society and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Vietnam, Selma, and it provides a frank, revealing portrait of Martin Luther King Jr.'s hunted by blackmail, um, fractional, and hatred while he tried to hold the nonviolent movement together as a dramatic force in history. And I'm going to name some people that I will be later introducing: Malcolm X, Lyndon Johnson, J. Edgar Hoover, uh, Diane Nash, Abraham Herschel, Robert Moses, and Fannie Lou Hamer. These individuals, I have also biographies or autobiographies on them in their work. So hopefully later in 2026, like later this year, I'll be able to, you know, talk about these people like a separate video, because all of this. My cat's on the refrigerator, you guys. That means that they're telling me wrap it up. All of that goes together. So this is a interesting series, and I want to this time around when I read it, have those community discussions on my channel. So if you're open to that, or if you're interested in that, just let me know. More likely I would just pop on and do a live, or I will plan like a discussion if you guys want it like that. Also, if you're interested, you can follow me while I'm doing my 1 year community read on Bearing the Cross, the rise of Martin Luther King and the Montgomery boycott movement. And it also talks about Operation Breadbasket. So what I'm doing is 30-minute reads, 30-minute increments of reading the book. And I may give my insights or how I'm feeling about it. But yeah, join me in that read if you're interested in learning more. And if you are, I have some pre-recorded. I started recording this last year, so you can start from chapter 1 and catch up with us now. And then also watch the lives where I talk every 10 chapters. I'll just do like a summary of what we've been talking about in the book. So I'm rambling now. Let me finish this. Have a beautiful day wherever you are, and let me know, do you have any books in particular that you'll be reading for Black History Month? And if so, can you please leave some recommendations in the comments? Because just because I share my list, there are always more interesting books that we can read about and discover together. So I hope you have a beautiful day where you are in the world. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.